It's February 22nd, 2015, and you're watching Mods on Air, I think.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I could hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned, you just cringing.
Welcome everyone to episode 464 of Mods on Air, bringing you the weekend gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers. I am foyleman. Yes, we're back with this old format, or new format, or who knows what format. Also on the show today we have with us Breezy. Hello, Breezy.
Hello.
Representing the Penguins. We have Ham with us today. Hello, Ham.
Hello, everyone.
Representing Mexico, I think. And we have Stryder with us. Hello, Stryder.
Hey, everybody.
And Welshy's with us. Hello, Welshy.
What is happening?
Representing Mexico.
Hello.
Tequila shooters at dawn.
Something's going on.
Yeah, something's going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, we do have a group of topics to talk about for the last week in gaming news. And should we start with Ham or should we end with Ham?
Oh, it's
Go
I
Ham.
think it's gonna
Might not be
end.
here by the end.
It's gonna end with Ham, I think, somehow.
Something's going to end there.
I just lost my list of topics because I don't know what's happening with this computer.
Open your eyes.
He doesn't know where his list of topics is, so I will start with mine while he gets his act together. We have...
Oh wait,
So-
it's back.
Too late. Unless you want to go one back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that.
there you go.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
I found an article here where, I could believe this is true, that they say that it's the iPhone 6 is almost as powerful as the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360, not the Xbox One, so they can keep up. So I guess that's not too surprising, but that gives you an idea that that Xbox 360 that you used to be playing with on the shelf is now as fast as a phone.
That's
I can do
surprising
that.
for me. Because I've got that big hunk of junk sitting on the shelf,
Yeah, well,
and
now you know how old and awful it really is.
yeah, this is what we've come to. My phone is more powerful.
But is the phone as bendy?
Exactly. That's the question.
Which one bends more? Well, actually, that's a good question. Does the does a motherboard inside the Xbox 360 when it overheats bend more than the iPhone 6?
No, but you don't have to worry about it in that sense. It's just a matter of which one is going to give you that fancy red ring.
Right.
And until they develop a red ring of death app for the iPhone, I'm sorry. I think the Xbox
It's just not
is
good enough.
hands down.
Yeah,
That would actually be a funny app.
would be.
All the power of an Xbox 360 with all the features.
Yes. At least you can keep your hands warm on it. Those cold winter days.
Just power it up. It's a feature. Save on heating bills. What I'm hearing is like all these different points and all these different features about why the Xbox 360 is bigger and better.
It's bigger than the iPhone.
Better. Yeah.
Well, that's also the trend with the iPhones is they're trying to make them bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they've
I
done
don't know.
going smaller and smaller. Now they need to
Yeah.
go
The next
bigger and
release
bigger.
is going to get smaller, they say. It's going to be a mini.
I genuinely think Apple's gonna start selling like clothing soon, like trousers that have big enough pockets for their phones.
No, they won't, because everyone else has to do it first, and then they'll do it.
It's not hipster enough. You need bigger pockets.
The thing is, they did the iPad mini because it was all the leftover parts from the original iPad or something along those lines. So I don't quite get why they would make them bigger just to make them smaller. Was it like all these excess iPad parts that they had left over that they decided to go with the larger phone?
Here's what they do. They say, we know that you wanted something that looks better and that works for your eyes a bit more. And they create this story and they say, so we gave you the big iPhone. And then next year they come out and say, we know you wanted something that was a bit smaller that could
fits in your pocket.
Yeah.
And now that Jobs is dead,
What
they can
happens
do
when they get it just right? That'll be the end of Apple.
They'll
the
call it a
iOS
BlackBerry.
iOS.
Well, when everyone goes, this is the best thing ever.
No, they'll
It's
just
like,
right
oh,
fuck
fuck.
that up.
Yeah.
That, and I don't think anybody's ever going to say that about Apple.
No.
Not anymore. It's over.
Just to qualify.
We know this worked too well, so we made something that was a little bit different.
This
that didn't work
worked
quite
too
as well.
well, so we released a new OS to break it. Just couldn't
Yeah, that sounds about right.
couldn't have our stuff working that well.
All right, Ham. Tell us about what's up here.
All right, let's see what is up here. So I've found a random scenario generator for PC games. And what this little thing does is you select from the list of games that you have that are listed, and you kind of click the button, and it generates a scenario that you can play.
Like there's a bomb on the bus.
Yeah.
That's 65. It'll explode.
That was
What
that
will you
film,
do?
The Bus That
What
Couldn't
will you
Slow
do?
Down.
That's exactly what it does.
It puts a bomb on the bus.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it changes things in interesting ways. So, like, maybe the bomb is in the plane now, and if it goes less than 60 miles an hour,
See, they tried that with
or more.
Yeah, they tried that with the movies, and oh my God, there's a bomb on the boat.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Remember how well that did?
Crash that
beautiful,
giant
yeah.
boat into the harbour for no reason.
Because this movie needs more explosions.
So explain
Yes.
to me, how does, but I don't understand, because not all of these games can handle these scenarios. I mean, like, there's this one where they're showing, where he made a scenario for Kings, or Crusader Kings 2.
Yeah.
It said it starts in whatever city. The restrictions are that you always kill yourself when you become depressed. So I guess that's a setting that you can make on the server. And then the goals are to have all 7 deadly sins, become friends with your liege, and successfully defend from a holy way. So these are things that you could manually set up?
I think some of them can be manually set up, and I think others are self-imposed. So
Okay.
some of it's going to be you restrict yourself. Others are going to have a bit more leeway where you can actually set some game rules to do certain stuff.
Okay, I went to the actual website and it's just a very specific list of games. So
Yeah.
you know,
The
like,
guy
I'm looking
who
at
made
the Mass
this,
Effect one, and it's like you can set what choices you made in previous games. And, yeah.
the guy who made it is going to continue to add more games, but he's also released the source code too. And I think more importantly, like this is fun. This can put some life back into some older games you may have forgotten about. But I think what's sort of bigger about this is that if somebody was really paying attention, a developer was really paying attention, they could kind of take this idea and create sort of infinite scenarios for their own game, and to give people a new challenge.
And they can't sell them. So that's
In this day and age, DLC. Come on.
yeah.
That will never happen.
But you're right, Han. This does breathe some life into the older games, where I could see this being fun for a day, where you set up a bunch of games and you're like, all right, let's randomly play a game, and just press the button and it automatically sets it up and says, this is what you have to do.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Maybe for a developer. On a
Wasn't
developer's-
what's that game, the space game that they're working on? That's like
Space
already.
game?
No, that ridiculously colourful one that I can't remember the name of.
Purple.
No, it's like you fly around a ship and there's different planets. But
Purple.
all the planets are randomly generated.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
No Man's. Sky.
Yeah. That's. I'm assuming that's pretty much the same thing. Right? It's just it's procedural generation.
Yeah. So I see they've got Dwarf Fortress and Minecraft on this list. I know those are both procedural generation games. For what it's worth, I've not tried this generator myself, the scenario generator, but perhaps I could try one of these games, Minecraft or something.
See, but that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
I don't like Minecraft. So what?
I don't like it either.
All right. More news on Microsoft here. We have they're going to open it up so that every Xbox One that's out there can become a developer console. What this means is that you can develop games for your Xbox and submit them, and supposedly they're going to revamp the submission process so that it can actually be approved without.
This just reeks of please put something on our console.
Yes. And either it'll take off and become the mobile of consoles because there'll be every piece of junk on there that nobody really wants to play, but you have to spend $1 at least on to buy it. Oh, this is Microsoft. That's right. It's like $5 at least.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's not going to be $1. $1 is free to Microsoft.
The approval process right now to get a game over on Xbox is awful. They make it look good on the surface, but there's a whole approval process where you have to fill out forms, submit them, and if you submit 2 bad forms in a row because you missed a dot on one of the I's and crossed the T here, then they reject it. And if they reject it twice, you're not allowed on. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I don't know. I think Microsoft, they think they're at a tier far above where they actually are. And this is the result. This is the result of being so arrogant. Is people are just like, all right, fuck you then. I'll take my game somewhere else.
Really, that's not unusual though. Microsoft is so disconnected from every facet of their customer base.
Yeah. Well, I think that I've seen companies run this way, and I think the way that Microsoft does it is they all have different departments that really are completely separate, not just like in a different room in the same building, completely separate. And one of them will turn around and sell the big guy on an idea, and the big guy will be like, yeah, make it happen. And then you have these random ideas that the other people who are supposed to actually do the approval process, not the people who are supposed to turn on the developer stage, is going to be like, what do I do now? This doesn't work. We're not ready for this. And so nothing works.
Unfortunately, I know that game all too well. That's the, hey, so we're going to do this, and you go, right, but that's not actually going to work. So yeah, but like you got to make it happen. And we're like, right, but if you'd asked me this like 2 hours ago, I could have told you that it's not going to work.
Right. See, I think that's what happens a lot over at Microsoft, and you're going to see a failure on something like this. At first, they could fix it later, but it's
if they rein in. I don't know.
2 hours ago. What worked?
Well, if we go back and we look at what happened on 360 with the indie, Xbox indie, whatever they called it, indie games, that for some people got really rich off that, making Minecraft clones and stuff, and other mobile phone game clones for the Xbox 360. People got rich, but that was like the one exception or one or two exceptions. For most people, they priced their games for $1 because that was as low as it could go, and they enjoyed some success, maybe enough to get a check or two, and then it kind of died after that because Microsoft wasn't involved in the approval process whatsoever. It was always community voted, and
like Greenlight.
Yeah, like Greenlight. So if enough
Greenlight's useless.
It is.
If enough people didn't find anything wrong with the game, then it was okay to be on. And I don't think that's really good criteria, because your criteria is find something wrong. If you can't find something wrong with the game, then you have to sort of give thumbs up. You could give thumbs down for lack of content, but if you just didn't like the game, or if you didn't think it was fun, or there was just no fun but it still worked, you pretty much were obligated to give it a thumbs up. And so we ended up with that marketplace, and there's something to be said about letting anybody have access to development tools, but there's a different thing about letting anybody publish their stuff or have their stuff published.
It goes back to the mapping community way back when we could do mapping and all that. People were, I realize you're very proud of your first map, but for most of the time it's a box, and we've all seen the box because we've all built the box at one time or the other. Don't publish your first map. Don't publish your first game. However, that's what we're getting now, even in the gaming industry. We're getting a whole bunch of people that are just leaving their college education for being a gamer or for being a game developer, and you get this converted from Java game, and they're all so lackluster, and it's just watering down the
already watered down market.
It's like drink the Kool-Aid, but fuck. Me, put some flavor in the Kool-Aid, for fuck's sake.
And now what happens is these people that you're talking about with the Kool-Aid are ending up on Kickstarter without any actual game to show these people. It's getting really bad over Kickstarter, and the articles are now starting to surface more and more with nobody getting what they were asked for.
Yeah, or they were promised what. Yeah, this is what happens. I don't know. We've got this. There seems to be this culture that's starting of collecting lots of money up front and then saying thank you very much and we'll see you next time.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just what things are turning into, it seems.
Well, do you think that's going to happen with Strafe? There's another game that's supposed to be some crazy FPS thing.
Strafe? Probable. I don't know. I did happen to play this little demo of this Kickstarted game.
Oh, you played it? That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I played it this morning.
Wait, is the demo available for anyone, or do you have to give them money in order to play it?
No, it's available. It started off where you had to give money, but I guess towards the end of the campaign, so they could get over the hump. Or I don't know how much they succeeded by, but eventually they gave away a demo, and that was originally restricted to people who backed it. And it definitely feels like Quake 2 with a little added physics.
Yeah, it looks Quake-ish.
Because it is Quake 2 with a little added physics.
Yes.
And it seems decent, but like it has potential. Right now, if it were released right now as it is, that'd be awful. But they do say it's a pre-alpha demo just to show you what they have so far. It has potential.
Try to get the graphics as photo.
It's not going to be the next big thing.
They made their goal. They wanted, let's say, just round it off. They wanted 200,000 and they got over it.
Computing
Yeah.
that we have in Strafe.
So
a lot of these computers are real.
I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm, as a huge fan of Quake and Doom, all the Dooms, all the Quakes, I'm looking forward to a game that has that similar vibe. The whole idea of procedural map generation, though, for stuff more complex than like Binding of Isaac, has always been a bit of a letdown. I don't know how it's going to turn out here.
Soldier Fortune 2, I think, did procedural generation levels, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, right off the bat, you're going to see.
I never did play either of those Soldier Fortune games, but it did. I know a lot of people liked it. It did have a good following. Right now, the game just seems to lack a lot of oomph.
I think it lacks oomph because it's relying on nostalgia.
And in here you see.
And nostalgia is always a letdown.
A lot of
it is.
Yep.
Any enemy in Strafe.
It really is.
Take a look at my Steam library.
Look at my physical shelf over here.
If you are hit from far away.
There's one thing.
It's true. Nostalgia is always a letdown.
Yeah. You can get the game for $15. I don't know if this game is worth $15. That's not a horrible price. It's a tiny bit high, but it's not that bad. I could see this game being put together and thrown up on Steam for $15.
Yeah.
And being mildly successful.
I could see that too.
But for $25 and getting the full soundtrack of a game that looks like it's 8-bit.
That's our press crate. It's a press crate that when you shoot it, up
I don't think so either.
You can grab it midair without having to slow.
Yeah, I think you said something really important about nostalgia and how it's always a letdown. And I think it's important if you're going to go back and try to recreate something, recreate it as you remember it, not as it actually was. And because then I think it'll be a bit better. If you go back and play Doom, just the original Doom right now, you might have some fun and it'll be great. Well, I shouldn't say great. It'll be a good time. That nostalgia kind of kicks in and it's like, this is pretty good. But if you go and play that mod Brutal Doom, I feel like is Doom as I remembered it, even though that wasn't how the game was. And that is just a blast. I'm not sure if any of you guys ever played that. But it's amazing. It's an amazing Doom game, and it's a mod that you can play today and still have an absolutely great time, and it really trumps a lot of other similar types of games.
So that You can use
But
credits
I just think it's
to
important.
expensive
Create a game as you remember it, not as it actually was.
And you can use
And
scrap to take
maybe that's not what they're doing here.
and just craft armor shards. Or
Well, I got another. I found a charity here. As you can see, I clumped all my console topics together here. That you can download a PlayStation theme for your PlayStation, which is like a donation towards cancer research, with the opportunity to potentially play with some actual celebrities, I guess virtually, like Snoop Dogg, or a Dodgers player.
Do I get to play baseball with them?
No, you get to play. Well, I guess if the game happens to be baseball, yeah.
What if I play?
What if they're shit players?
Yeah.
Really pissed me off.
You don't even know if they're actually on the other end. It could just be the intern.
This is not Liam Neeson.
And help raise money for charity by purchasing digital items through the PlayStation Heroes.
I will find you and I will kill you.
PlayStation Heroes. Download the app from PlayStation Store.
I wonder if you could play with them and then just kind of berate them the entire time, like, "Oh man, your last season was horrible. What happened there?"
On the surface, it sounds like an interesting idea, but when it comes right down to it, it's still just a
You
raffle.
want a chance to show off your gaming
So
Yeah.
it loses it as opposed. You know, I'm thinking of some of the others with cancer research was play a game for 24 hours.
90% of the proceeds from each digital item purchase goes
Yeah.
directly to charities like Make-
Which is a lot harder than it seems, because I have done that. And
Yes.
it's very,
Have you?
yeah, I actually did that.
We'll
Haven't
I
people
went the whole
died
time.
participate to
in
play
Cat?
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, in Korea and China,
Heroes app.
people die left
Yeah,
and
I
right
played
for
the
doing that
same
kind of
game
stuff.
for 24 hours.
Sweatshops.
PlayStation Heroes app.
It's even
No, we're
worse.
not talking about the gold farmers. We're talking about the kids who are in there supposedly having
More
fun.
items every month. To play against your heroes.
You have fun now.
You are helping people.
You'll no sleep. You'll keep play. Sorry, that was very racist. I'm trying better to not be racist.
Quite frankly, I am shocked.
I'm shocked and appalled by that.
I'm appalled.
I will be filing the complaint.
With who?
Myself.
I'm going to be appalled, but not shocked.
Go figure. You just got to be that. You got to be that guy.
I got to change it up just a little bit.
All right, Ham, tell us about Hotline Miami #2. Wrong number.
All right, I'm not sure if you guys ever played the original game.
No.
No?
I know we've spoken about it, and I've looked through it, but no, I've never actually. I don't think I've played it unless I've played a demo of it a long time ago. I don't remember when it came out.
Either. I think maybe 2-3 years ago. There's not too much to say here. It's just a comic that's a prequel to the sequel, and it's in 5 parts and it's free. For people who like the game, it might be worth a pickup. I guess it'll let us know a bit more about the weird world in which the game takes place, because the original game is purposefully a bit cryptic with a lot of stuff in it. And shortly after the game came out, there was a lot of people trying to piece together what exactly did I just play and what happened at the end and the beginning and every level in between, because I wasn't sure what I was doing except for killing people.
Which says something about our culture.
Yeah. And of course that's what I think in an interview or two, that's part of what one of the creators said. It was about, like, why do you, I don't know, to me it sounded like he was trying to reach for more meaning. But he mentioned something about, like, why would you continue to play the game and kill people in the game even though you don't know why you're doing it, and also the sort of weird cosmic type stuff. The game itself was fun. It was very fast-paced. Even though it's sort of violent in its tone, it's basically a puzzle game. It's a fast-paced puzzle game. It's what it really is.
Single player.
Single player puzzle game. And the bits of story you get between levels and during certain sequences of levels, it's cryptic enough to keep you wondering what's happening and what are you ultimately going towards. It was a fun game. I think after I beat it, I went back to it twice to play a level or two, and then I uninstalled it. It wasn't enough to keep you going. I don't know what the sequel is going to provide.
Sure, stack up fast.
Yeah, they do. We'll see what the sequel provides. At least they're giving you some sort of free narrative, because maybe the actual game itself will be like the first and not have too much in the way of telling you what's happening. So, at least with the comic, you can follow something. But
if only this were co-op.
Yeah, if only. I suspect that there will be a level creator in the sequel, since that was sort of like a semi-promise of the original, was maybe they would come out with a level creator.
I think so, really.
Yeah.
They don't mention anything on a custom level editor.
Yeah. So you could trade levels.
Coming in spring of 2015.
I'm always leery about features that they say any game says is coming.
Yeah.
It's only available on Windows, so even though it's on Steam, you can't get it on any other platform.
That was.
But it will allow you to play with an Xbox 360 controller.
Having played the game, I think it's the best suited for the keyboard mouse for sure.
In other words, that's the reason why it's only available on Windows.
Oh, there we go. It's available on Mac and Linux. There it is.
Okay. Is that for the sequel or the original?
The sequel. I'm not looking at the original right now yet.
Okay. I'd say the original, having played it, is getting sale very low price, just because it may not be your thing. Yeah. It's a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game with lots of shooting.
Yet it looks like it's going to do very well, doesn't it?
Based on the sales of the original, I'd say it's going to be awfully well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Looks easy enough to make.
Yeah, it's made with Game Maker, which is also available on Steam for people to purchase.
All right. Ham, a little while ago, was talking about Doom and how much he loves Doom. Well, I'm sure he's already on board with this next one here, where you can install a mod to do Doom selfies.
Doomies.
Ready?
A Doom selfie mod.
Why?
I don't know.
This is exactly what I was asking for. I needed
Said
this.
no one ever.
It's called Insta-Doom, I believe. So the Instagram, because they also have some filters, some color filters in there too.
Insta-Doom. Let you spin around a virtual camera around and take a shot of yourself in Doom or Doom 2.
Do you remember that the guidelines and
with filters
can help you frame an exciting picture?
Yeah.
You might also want to have a look at the filters.
It's a bit weird. I mean, I guess you could share those on Instagram. I don't know. I don't use that though.
Well, it comes out at an appropriate time now that you're allowed to take screenshots in Xbox.
Remember to ask permission.
For the first time, you can take a screenshot of your game.
What seems like just
Yeah.
And so that's the big
Pass it
thing.
on.
I just noticed that this morning. We're looking through some of the articles. People are like, "I just took my first screenshot on Xbox." Like, oh,
That says
Welcome to
I'm like a
1990.
screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
It's man, the features now.
Now you can screenshot yourself teabagging someone.
Yay!
Woohoo! Oh boy, it's a still though. All right, Steam. Tell us about what's going on over at Steam. I think they're doing something with at least with Killing Floor.
Yeah, Steam is doing a bunch of stuff lately, and I don't know if it's gotten a lot of publicity or buzz or what, but there are a few things that I just had no idea were happening until I stumbled upon them. And the one thing that recently happened, I want to say maybe earlier this month, was that Steam now has a streaming video player, and I guess it's a branch off of the broadcast feature that they have that allow people.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was the same thing or yeah, okay.
They're using the same player, but I guess they added some new functionality to it, because now you can stream videos, pre-recorded videos. You can stream those without having to download anything. So the reason I stumbled upon this was I was looking at Killing Floor 2 and saw some news that there was a Killing Floor short film available on Steam.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah, and so instead of saying install or download, there's a button. The button now says watch.
Just watch, yeah.
Yeah, you click it and it opens up the video player. So, and then
isn't that essentially just the same as like you can use the Steam browser as a web browser essentially?
Yeah.
You can watch YouTube videos and stuff. That's just the same thing, isn't it?
it kind of is the same, but in this case, you really aren't going to a different website. You're just going to the page.
All right, but it's still a web page. Like I could just figure out what that URL is and go to that
like
page.
a web page.
Yeah. It uses Internet Explorer, I think.
They switched a while ago.
Oh, did they? Yeah, because I remember there was problems where like you would do a brand new install of your OS and then try and launch the Steam thing, the browser, and it would just be like cannot load, and it was because you hadn't installed Flash on Windows Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
It's like, but I use Chrome. This shouldn't be happening.
They switched to some Chromium-based browser now.
That's good, because that was horrible.
It very much was horrible.
What's it take to get on Steam with a video? I mean, can I put up my
Mods Online?
My Mods Online videos?
I don't know just yet. There's a.
What about my bootlegs from the theater?
That you probably could.
See, and that's the first thing I thought is someone's going to figure out how to abuse this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's probably going to be some walkthroughs or something at some point. The first thing that I've seen to take advantage of this feature is this Killing Floor short film. And it's 12 minutes long. I watched that this morning too, and it's actually pretty decent for what it is. I don't feel like I wasted 12 minutes having watched it. It's I don't know if it's supposed to be a prequel.
Do you feel like you wasted 11 minutes?
Probably.
That one good minute.
Yeah. There's one good minute in there.
And it was the credits.
Everything leading up to it was so good, though. Or tolerable.
There's got to be, because there's such a huge difference between playing Killing Floor and just watching it.
Yeah. It's the guys from, I don't know, that made Paranormal Activity and
oh yeah, those great films.
Insidious, yeah, those
Oscar
great
winning.
films. Those guys were involved in creating the short film.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure.
Seemed like it was worth a watch. It was nice. So it was interesting to stumble upon those two things this week. The streaming video player, and there's a streaming video player fact, so maybe that has some stuff about how to get on Steam with videos. Maybe not, I don't know. And then to see the short film. So Killing Floor 2 is coming this year.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you are into the nostalgia thing, you can potentially vote your favorite video game into a Hall of Fame.
Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah.
People can't be trusted to vote anymore.
No, they can't. Steam Greenlight, there's an Kickstarter, there's another one.
Oh,
Federal election in the United States.
Yeah, just anything that involves in voting, you just can't trust people anymore.
So I had this idea earlier this week for a film where the government got replaced with a robot, and the robot made decisions for everybody else, and everybody was happy.
Hasn't that already happened?
I don't know.
Wait, that doesn't. Isn't that
Welcome to the Clarence Bin video
Isn't
game
that
review.
like every movie that's out there?
Also, isn't that sort of technically the plot to Terminator?
Yeah, I was thinking of Person of Interest,
Thanks again,
the TV series.
I never. What? Person of Interest? I never saw that TV show at all.
Basically, there's two computers of AI, and they're trying to do what's best for humanity.
I won't spoil anything. But the
Really?
story is that you turn on your
Oh,
leader, and
well,
no one
there goes my idea.
with you. All these monsters are
One of them
set
tries
up
to save him,
kill
and the other
you.
one wants to kill
When
him
you first
because
get
they
into
both
this game,
think
it's
it's
like an adventure
best for
game.
humanity.
But as you
yeah.
get into it, the game becomes an adventure RPG.
And yeah, you're
There are
right, it's
two parts of
Terminator,
this game.
Skynet.
Running through the levels,
What's
shooting
best for
things
humanity?
that get in your way. Then there's the part where you face a monster.
Every movie that has
one-on-one,
to do with a
which is
computer taking over
basically
Hal.
RPG elements
Come on.
mixed in with
He was
more
doing what was best.
or
What are you doing, Dave?
Take over.
For
try
Dave.
to explode. You may move around all you want. The more
I can't let you
powerful
do
the
that,
meter is,
Dave.
The more powerful your attacks will be.
Oh, I can't
Always
listen to
trying
this.
to get this meter
Enough
up.
of that.
What
Hall of
is?
Fame video? I don't know.
Is that the video about the Hall of Fame thing?
Yeah. It's really annoying me.
Well, just give it to Mario. Mario gets it. Hall of Fame. Or Pac-Man or something like that.
Pac-Man, definitely the Pac-Man.
Why don't you talk about Squeenix?
I've always hated Pong. I mean, Pac-Man. Pong is okay. All right, so Square Enix, these guys, I don't where to start. So earlier this year or really late last year, Square Enix says we're going to jump on board with the crowdfunding initiative too. We want money, and so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do things a bit different. We're going to go back and all those old intellectual properties that we aren't using, we're going to let you vote on them and see which one gets to make a comeback. And then we'll do some crowdfunding stuff associated with that. And so finally they come back earlier this week and say, so remember this crowdfunding platform that we created? Well, we got the first 3 IPs, and here they are. And oh my goodness. All right, so you got this thing called Gex. I'm not sure if anybody remembers this thing. It's a
Little lizard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a little lizard that wears
Yeah, I remember that.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
So Gex is making an appearance as a possible IP to make a comeback. There's a game that I never played called Anna something. Anna
Inagata Devita?
Anachronix, is that how you say that?
Yeah. like
Anachronox.
I never played it.
No, I mean,
And then the third game, some
Fear
RPG.
Effect, wasn't it?
Fear Effect. Yeah.
Okay, what was that?
What's the RPG? I don't know.
I'm looking at this thing though, and it gets weird.
Yeah, it gets really weird. So here's what happens. Square Enix says, look, here's what we do. Here's the 3 games available of our old IPs. We don't know what to do with them, but maybe you can do something with them. And we're so generous. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to let you raise the money to make the game yourself.
Yeah.
And because we were so generous to let you use our IP, we're going to take a share of your profits. Actually, not even your profits, of your revenue, which revenue and profits are not the same thing. So taking a share of your revenue that's even worse. And it really begs the question, well, why would I even use your IP if you're going to take 20% of what I make? And you contribute nothing. You literally contribute nothing but the name in the game world. And I have to raise all the money myself. I have to make the game myself. And they get to also place some restrictions on it as well about how it gets distributed and a few other pieces of development
makes
direction.
sense. When you put it all that way, it actually does make sense.
Does it
this
make
is
sense?
what happens when you go to any licensing conference. You go to a licensing conference, and they're like, you want to use my product? These are the terms. And the terms that you just mentioned happen to be very similar to what you'll find everywhere.
But why? It makes no sense.
Because you get
for
to use
developers.
something that people recognize and potentially make money on it.
That
It
was
would
the
be
only
like if
benefit
somebody went
I-
there with Superman and said, you can now make a game about Superman.
That I can understand. That's the only benefit that I see, is that it's already a pre-established name universe.
That's it.
But is that enough to say, like, yeah, you can have 20% of everything I make, even though you did nothing but just provide me the name in the universe?
Well, that's kind of how it works, unfortunately. Especially with like I was saying, with licensing and stuff, it's kind of like, okay, I really want to make this movie. I got this amazing script and everybody loves it, but I need like your permission because I'm using your characters.
Then
It's kind of like,
So, the developer seems to be shouldering all the risk. The only risk that Square Enix is taking on in this case is that a bad game could tarnish the IP.
But they're
The
not
IP
even
is-
using
it's
them.
so old, right? It's so old. Who cares?
It just sounds to me like it's like somebody sat in a room and went, "Hey, how can we make some extra money?" Well, we got these games that we're just never even going to bother.
Yeah. Let's just let somebody else make some money off of them.
Yeah,
or
and
not
it'll make it look like we're doing something for the fans when in actual fact we just want to make some money.
Right. Now, built into part of the rules too is that Square Enix takes 5% of whatever you raise in terms of crowdfunding. Just off the top, they just take 5%.
Oh, what?
So before
And there it is.
before you start development or anything, whatever you raise, 5%. So whether the game gets completed or not,
5%. You want to make the game? We'll protect you.
Gotta get some money in the first.
yeah. So
That's generally the equivalent of like going, "Hey, call them the taxi," and they go, they pull up and just go, "Okay, $20 please," and you haven't even gone anywhere. You're just like, "Wait, what?"
But they're taking a cut of all your crowdfunding. It's like it's a virtual panhandling tax.
yeah.
Yes.
They take 5% of whatever you raise, and then 10%.
You know what? That is exactly where somebody has also said, "All right, what if this just goes like tits up and doesn't work out? All right, well, we'll take like 5% of whatever they raise just so we make at least some money out of it."
Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. So whether you win or lose, you shoulder all the risk, and they get some money.
Yeah.
And
It's just a win-win situation for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
I'm slightly jealous that I didn't think of it.
It's just, I don't know, it's so odd. For me, I'm just thinking to myself, who would do this? But maybe somebody's so excited about that little lizard with the sunglasses, they're like, man, I got to do this. If only to see another Gex game.
There is no one in the world who is excited by that.
That game was horrible. Like,
I barely remember it.
I do, because there was a PlayStation 1 version, I think. Because it was meant to be like he was like Sean Connery Bond, but like it was a gecko. It was just.
I don't know, man. This is, I think I saw a comment that said somebody's could bring back Gex as a DLC character for Evolve, and there it is. That's all you need to do. Part of the description of this is that it doesn't necessarily have to be the same genre as the original game. So,
but there's still rules. We don't know what those rules are.
They're trying to sell off their IPs. How can you get our IPs out there is essentially what they're doing. They're not even selling the game. It's just like, here's our character. Use our character in something so that maybe we can get some interest generated for Square Enix.
Yeah.
Product placement.
They basically want to make money and not do anything about it, and not do anything for it. That's
the American way.
Yeah.
Really.
So all
right.
That's that.
Well, let's continue with some old things. It's hard to get back and forth. Okay, so Halo. I know you're still all excited for the Halo game that has come out 10 years ago. So now you can get your motorcycle helmet that looks like the
Finally.
helmet.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's 10 years too late.
It's always been a BMX helmet. What has taken them so long?
I don't know.
They had to get it just right.
Well, just so you know, the pictures I'm showing you here are not the final product. The website has that listed everywhere you look. Not the final product.
God. It's just going to be a helmet painted green in it.
Yeah.
But that's all it ever was. It was a BMX helmet with a gold tinted visor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look at it though. I can wear that and be on my bike and go down the street and look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
That was the biggest complaint with the.
You could do two of those things.
With the special edition was that you couldn't put the helmet on. You could only put it on your cat, if I remember.
Yeah,
You're not cool until you come across Boba Fett. Then you're fucked.
Then they're just staring at each other like, "Sup."
That's an encounter I'd like to watch.
Yeah.
I'd watch the hell out of that movie.
So I'm glad they came out with this. Now all I need is a bike.
Wow.
I know where you could probably steal one.
Thanks. No, I've got like alarms all over the damn thing. So either the alarms will go off or the battery won't work. So you got one or the other.
Foyle's bike's like Mad Max's car now. Just start it up, it just blows up.
If I can't have it, you can't have it.
He'll hit the car alarm go off and fades the distance as the bike goes down the street.
Yeah, it is quite unfortunate, you know. Everywhere I go, the alarm's always going off. All right, Ham, back to World of Tanks.
Oh, World of Tanks, I thought Stryder might like this. And hate it at the same time. Because World of Tanks, which
I'm
Stryder...
disgusted by how low we have come as a game.
Yeah. So, a while ago, Stryder was very much about World of Tanks and got me and a few other people into it, and it's actually a pretty good game. But
free game.
For a free game, yeah. Pretty good. Like, it kept me engaged for quite a while. Cookies?
Went to PAX once and got some cookies.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
These guys know what makes a great game. It's the free cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah.
So now World of Tanks gets a digital card game, just like everything else nowadays. And
it's the dumbest idea I've ever heard for any game, period.
So I don't know.
So yeah. A, why are we making a game about a game? That just doesn't make any sense to me. It's a game. It doesn't need a game about the game, especially a card game about the game. Newsflash, that was invented a long time ago. It's called War. You play it with two people, full deck of cards. Mm-hmm. You know, the higher card takes the pair.
That's top trumps, isn't it?
No, it's not Trump.
No, it's top trumps. I don't know if you guys had that in North America. Probably not. It's
top Trump.
Exactly that. You get like cars, and you go, oh, like I'll yell out my top speed, and if mine's higher than yours, I take the pair, and then that's top trumps. That's what that game is called. Google it.
Oh, I was gonna. This is not Top Trumps. That was a different one. Card game. Yeah. Exploding Kittens.
Well, the World of Tanks card game, I'm not certain of all the rules. I know where you place cards on the play field matters, and that's all I really know in detail about it. It's a digital collectible card game, so well, I'm sure.
So it's not even a physical asset.
No, not at all.
No.
It's like Magic the Gathering.
But you
and then pay extra for special cards of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Oh, but these are limited edition cards.
Yes.
It's virtual. You can make your fucking own.
Limited digital edition.
If we come up with a virtual card game, the cards have to self-implode after a certain amount of time, and then they have to buy the card again.
MODSonair, the card game.
With like the most ridiculously complicated rules ever, just like 6 points, like Conan's rating system. 6 points gets you a return, and then 19 points makes you win. But if you lose the attack card, then you lose 27 points, and then you have to divide that by the number of players times the number of drinks you've had.
You can only lose if you win.
Your first mistake was thinking that you could win. Because there is no game. It's like the Matrix. There is no game. These are not the cards you're looking for.
Let's just sell the box then.
Yeah. What you have inside this box, this gear-shaped box, is a limited edition idea. Hey, I opened the box up. There was nothing in it. Well, you let the idea get away. It's not our fault.
We could sell boxes of imagination. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, you can't get imagination without a prescription.
Oh, okay. Florida caved. All right, fine.
That's how it works. Right. Let's kickstart it too, because we don't want to take any
Pay
risks.
for
That would be
anything.
funny. Prescription imagination. Now on Kickstarter. Ask your doctor if imagination is right for you.
May cause side effects.
May cause happiness.
Side effects may include
Our
Delusions.
first
enjoyment,
Grandeur.
delusions of
First stretch
grandeur, and the urge to start a Kickstarter campaign for no reason.
Creases in face.
first stretch goal: no refunds. Give us more money, and we'll be sure not to give you any back.
Yeah.
This could happen.
Well, we could sell Kickstarter insurance for our Kickstarter insurance. So essentially, like if you're give us some money, and if you want to ensure you get something next, then all you got to do is just say, all right, here's some more money, and that'll ensure that there's a potential for you to get your first money back. However, the second money is going to be more than the first money. But it's insurance, and people buy insurance because they all know it's a scam. But you call it insurance, and they're like all for it.
This is a good idea. Why aren't we doing this already?
All right.
Well, why aren't we doing this already?
Let's talk about something that may need insurance. The virtual reality headsets. Apparently, Tim Sweeney over at Epic says that it's going to change the world, that the hardware is going to double in quality every few years for another decade. So you'll never actually get a final product. It'll always be
it'll always
just be a little bit better.
And it's hard to tell the difference. It's eventually will be hard to tell between the difference between virtual reality and the real world.
I doubt that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I went outside once the graphics weren't that great.
Yeah.
It was all pixelated, and I kept falling over, and I don't know why.
I trust Tim Sweeney. He's been to the future. And he was nice enough to come back and let us know what we can expect for the next decade.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know why anyone
maybe
thinks
he went to the future. Maybe he's a time traveler.
Isn't that the movie? No, that's without the time travel. Never mind. I was thinking of, what is it, Surrogate? Where they're all in virtual reality, laying on tables, not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what life will become.
Indeed.
I'm excited for virtual reality, but or the VR goggles, but I'm still not sold on. There's no good control mechanism, so
no.
There's no anti-puke measures.
What worries me about virtual reality is, as humanity, we're bound to make it rubbish. Like, it will just be like, oh, we have virtual reality, so now you can go to work in virtual reality. Like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
You could drive a bus in traffic for 4 hours.
If we get virtual reality, I want to be able to run around and slay orcs.
That would be
using the VR or just...
Yeah. Just... And I want to wield, like, a sword the shape of a melon.
The sword is the shape of a melon? How does that work?
It's virtual reality. It's not real. It's not real.
Yep.
It doesn't need to work. Just make it.
Or they'll be in prison.
To be fair, melon was the first word that came to mind, and I probably should have gone for something a little bit more pointy.
Thinking of melon.
Squares.
Pineapples. That's your pointy melon.
So Ham, you can tell us. I set yourself up for this other one, which I thought was your next topic, but apparently isn't. I thought it was going to have to do with Epic.
Oh,
but it's not.
Our topic.
No, it's. I guess you're supposed to talk about something else. Go on with your next topic. Which one are you going to be?
It's going to be about this esports arena.
Okay.
From the UK, which, and that's pretty much the story. The UK is getting its first esports arena, so its own facility dedicated to esports.
We already talked about that.
I think we have. I feel like we have. We've mentioned it.
The awesome match fixing potential.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
They already have found the cheaters, so why not?
Right. So they can just get them to play against each other.
I don't understand why you need a arena. You could set this up anywhere. It's not like a football field.
Exactly. People who play games professionally for a living are not athletes. They do not need an arena. It doesn't work. They can do this anywhere at a desk.
They already do
allows
this at
them to
LAN.
try and propagate.
Yeah.
That's all it's doing. Is it's like, oh no, this is a legitimate sport. No, the fuck it isn't.
It's easier for companies like NVIDIA to promote their products in a large space where everyone is already congregated.
Yeah.
The squared circle of gaming.
Maybe they could just like lock the doors and never let any of them leave. That'd be nice. I'd like that.
It's a promotion dome. These guys are gonna. They're gonna have tournaments for, I think, Hearthstone, CS:GO, League of Legends, all that stuff. And Pac-Man. All that highly competitive stuff.
I can understand why they're doing it because the money in it is big.
Yeah.
But it's only big because they've hyped it to be big. It's not a sport. It's sitting there watching fucking 12-year-olds play a fucking video game.
Yeah, but it's no different than sitting there watching people run around a field.
12-year-old Koreans.
Yeah, it is.
At the end of the day, it's you're still just out there watching someone do something else.
I think, for me, the difference is I don't need, or I don't feel any different being there than being at home and watching from the other player's perspective, watching a stream. If I were to go to, I don't know, a football game or a basketball game, there's just a certain energy there. I couldn't see myself getting really hyped up sitting there and watching someone else play. Well, that's not true, because I actually have done that at QuakeCon.
A lot of people do go to these things, and I'm not sure if the people that go to them are just players or if they're actually interested in watching. I can understand the interest in watching a game. Maybe not live, but I understand the interest in watching it. But we've been to these shows such as PAX where there's League of Legends going on, and it's incredibly crowded in there. And I don't know if these are just viewers, players, or what.
Yeah.
But at PAX, that was all. There was two things at the PAX where they were all playing League of Losers. It was they had a costume contest for everybody to be what the fuck is that called? Where they all dress up in their fucking
cosplay.
Okay. So there was this huge cosplay contest there, as well as it was a tournament to try and generate interest in it. Was it packed because these people were fans of it, or because that's all that there was to do in that entire hall?
You think that's all they're doing in these too? You think the only thing they're going to do is play games? They're going to hype it up with other stuff that's going on. They'll be like, "Oh, we're going to give away video cards and computers."
Yeah, because they have to in order to fucking make people go in there, because it's a boring fucking thing to do. Yeah. They're not athletes. Really.
But then again, you pick up, if you watch a pro CS game on Twitch, you're 100,000 viewers every game. And that's people that sat at home choosing to watch it. So if you could go to an event,
I want to backtrack. I spoke too soon, because every time I've gone to QuakeCon, if I'm not too drunk or anything, I do go and watch the final tournament games, because it's, having played the game and knowing some of the skill involved to pull off certain things, is kind of cool to see people who are really good at the game face off against one another. I don't like it.
I
can understand that.
I've seen some of these things online, not in person, where they're showing off the skills, and I watch them do it, and I still am baffled by what they just did half the time. Mid-air, doing twists, 360s, and shooting 3 people in the head.
Yeah, to me, that's just not. It's like, okay, so you got the reflexes of a 12-year-old.
Because you are 12.
Yeah, because you are 12. So now what? What else have you proven?
It's for me. It's not even. That's not what bothers me. It's the whole like culture around it. like generally speaking, those people that actually are like, oh yeah, I'm a pro, are just absolute assholes.
Yeah, I'm a pro athlete.
That's what bugs me about it. It's nothing to do. Cool. It's cool. It takes skill to do that. I can't do that. Like play those games.
Some pimply-faced 11-year-old with pop collars walking around. I'm a professional athlete with the big fucking, pow. Professional athlete, your way out of that, motherfucker.
Wearing their sports jerseys.
Yeah, they pretty much do, though. That's the thing. They have, like, sponsored shirts and stuff, and it's like, really?
Listen, no, we are not directing this at Breezy in any which way, so.
This is not a gaming t-shirt. Not yet.
Sitting there, all of a sudden thinking he's got mad hockey skills because he bought a jersey.
Wait till I get back from LAN. I'll get myself a Ninjas in Pajamas t-shirt or something.
That's the way it works. I mean, for what it's worth, it's if you enjoy playing the game and you're really good at it, and people are offering you money to just play the game that you already enjoy. Hey, that's fine, do it. But that culture.
Yeah, that's what I have a problem with. Yeah. That whole like. It just annoys me.
Yeah, when you try to, I guess, grab and reach for all these things that involve physical skill, and try to pull that into an arena where it takes no physical skill, you just end up with this weird mishmash of like, why are you doing this? Why do you need a sports jersey?
And also being a manager of one of those teams is not a real job. I don't care what anyone says. You are the least useful person on the entire thing.
I've never understood it. I can understand the sports jersey because all the teams have logos, and if you stick a logo on a shirt, it looks fucking ridiculous. So I can understand the logic there of having your sponsors on a sports jersey.
Okay.
So but I can't understand the managers.
Yeah, I'm a manager. What do you do? Well, I like coach them right.
I take 5% off the top.
Yeah. And then what exactly do you do? Well, I just make sure that they're doing right, but they're just playing games, right? Yeah.
I babysit them.
Yeah.
I'm 17 when the rest of them are 14, so I'm like responsible for them.
All right, another topic. Moving on. Getting out of here.
Were we supposed to make this shorter?
I thought so. Dirty Bomb is going on. Is doing some stress testing. So if you got your couple of keys, because they're really trying to make you play, they send you a key, and a couple days later they send you another key.
Well, if you're in the last one on Steam, it just auto-installed for me.
Yeah, it did for me too.
Yeah,
I'm not too high. I didn't quite like that.
Mine has been uninstalled.
I mean, I'll play it, but like, don't be installing shit without my knowledge.
I have no desire to play it again. No.
I didn't mind Dirty Bomb.
I thought it was okay.
I found it the same as any other shooter.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree. But that's how I feel. That's what I think every game that's out there playing right now is every other shooter.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of which, I got an idea I wanted to tell you guys about the show, or after the show.
After the show, all right.
Yeah, about a game.
Good. Then moving on to what you're supposed to be talking about, Diablo.
So, I know we all love Diablo, and we all loved and wish that the real money auction house would come back that they had, where you could buy and sell weapons for real money. But they took it away, and they're going to bring it back now, in a sense, but only in Asia, where people don't mind. They're going to add microtransactions to Diablo 3 in an upcoming patch, using data that they mine from all players, which I think is even weirder. So in order to more easily part you with your money, they're going to use information about you against yourself.
If it was only Asian mined data, that would make more sense. But Asia is extremely different.
Yeah.
When it comes to games.
It is, and maybe they'll give more weight to data that comes from Asia. But for right now, in the upcoming patch, they're going to use information mined from all players, and then start to sell cosmetic items and timed experience boost and other types of stuff, using a new currency called Platinum, which you have to pay for with real money. You can buy stuff in Diablo 3 now.
All right.
but only in Asia for the time being. Which is, I don't know, with all the rage about the real money auction house, to bring this back, or to bring something even similar to it back, I don't know. Maybe people didn't rage in Asia, so they don't care.
I get it. All right. Sure, why not? Lenovo shipped a laptop not that long ago, and it's now just being discovered that they shipped it with some man-in-the-middle kind of ad.
I could have told you that.
Like that, of course.
Yeah.
Our whole system of work is Lenovo. Like, that's what we use.
Well, what
and every time we get one in, I reformat the shit out of it so it's completely blank.
That's what I do with any laptop I purchase, but a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of bad stuff that they usually pre-install on these things. Like this one in particular installs a security certificate that any hacker can, in a way, take over and utilize to their advantage. Streaming you non-secure, whatever the hell they want, in place of this secure certificate that's accepted throughout your system.
So they sold you something with, I don't know, if that's just vulnerable right from the start.
That can steal your credit card information if you want, if you store that in your browser. Yeah.
Excellent.
So that you don't have to pre-fill it.
We just need to get just cut straight to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Just steal it right now.
All right.
Like Sony.
Yeah.
Epic is also doing some other stuff, Ham.
Yes, Epic Games. So Unreal Engine 4, which has been available for a while now, that everybody can pay, I think, $20 a month USD, and develop with the Unreal Engine. They are now giving away up to $5 million in grants, no strings attached, just completely free. If you say, I'm developing this project, not necessarily even a game, but I'm developing a project with Unreal Engine 4. Here's what I have. I would like some money, some free money to help develop this game, and they are giving away, Epic is giving away between $5,000 and $50,000 per project. If they like what they see and want to see that you complete whatever you're developing, or at least ease the development a little bit.
It's not a lot of money, but
it's not a lot.
It's pretty neat. They're going to get so many submissions. It's going to be a little weird.
I gotta say, there's got to be strings attached.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're not gonna open up the door for. I would think that if you've got, this project, if you read into it, they're probably more like, okay, is it on Unreal? No. What's it going to take cost-wise for you to get it onto Unreal? If it is on Unreal, what can we do to help you a little bit? But they're not just going to give you money.
That's the one
because
string.
you write them a letter.
That's the one string. The one string is that it does have to be developed with Unreal Engine 4.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it says they're not even going to keep track of what you do with it.
Yeah.
Not going to keep track of what you do with your game. Not going to keep track of what you do with your money.
You just submit it and say, this is something I'm working on in Unreal Engine 4. Do you guys like it? If you do, give me money.
It's Kickstarter without the middleman.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're already developing something on Unreal Engine 4.
So begging for money has moved uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was even easier.
Fuck. That's really all that is.
I think this would be best suited, or people in the best position to get this money would be people who are already developing something. They're already partly in development. I should say, not only does it have to be Unreal Engine 4, but you also have to have a working prototype that the people who are
That's
sort
a
of
big deal.
debating. Yeah. So you've already got to be some ways into it already, before they start to give you any money. So it's if your game needed this money in order to be completed, then you're probably doing something wrong. But if you're already developing a game and you're going ahead, some extra free money wouldn't hurt. I know I don't have a game to submit.
I have a topic here regarding building a high-end PC and how to do it without, from an idiot's perspective. if you want to build that awesome PC. But I'm finding that there's less and less of a need for this kind of article, and I think it's because there's fewer people who give a damn. Because there's nothing worth doing with that high-end PC once you get it. Compared, nobody's really marketing to these people anymore, are there?
Yeah, I'm aware of.
Like, if you went out to buy a PC, are you going to buy the most top-end possible system that you can? And if you did, why? Why would you get the most top-end you can versus slightly under that?
Because I can't help myself. I'm weak.
That's it.
I was looking yesterday, actually, at upgrading, and I was like, I just need 600 quid.
But do you think that's going to make a difference for you? I mean, it's going to be cool to look at and know that you have.
Yeah,
that's purely it. It's just because I want it.
Because every game that's coming out is for a phone.
And then it gets ported back to the PC.
Yeah.
I think if you absolutely need to have the best, then you should probably go overboard, because if you get just what's good right now, what's like the best stuff you can get right now, in 3 months it's going to be out of date.
More than 3 months now. The time is gone. This has stretched more.
All right, let's say 6, 7?
6 to 8, yeah.
6 to 8. So either you need to get something, I think, that's just like it's good enough. This is going to play the majority of what I want, plus a little bit more, or just stuff in the next 2 or 3 years is going to play stuff decently. And I think you're good, but to pay lots of money for what's going to be not top of the line in less than a year, I don't know. Don't know if that's worth it.
At the moment, it's more I want like a PC to sit in my living room as well, so I can play with the controller on my big screen. So the logical way for me to do that is to upgrade my PC in here and then use the bits from this one in that one.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
I actually realized I could, with my laptop, I could just plug my laptop into the TV yesterday and stream it with the...
Just figured that out. Okay.
Well, I sort of already knew, but it only occurred to me yesterday that I could do it. I was like, oh.
There's a plug on the side that either says HDMI or...
No, I know that I can plug it into the TV.
Out. Okay, good.
The entire reason it's in the living room is because we watch stuff on it. Okay. What I mean is I sort of connected the dots yesterday and was like, oh wait, I could play stuff on my desktop in here on the TV just by using my laptop.
Yeah.
Still not going to, but I could.
Yeah.
In some cases, I could see where you would want to just have the bigger screen.
Well, and you can
the
set
screen on your TV is larger than your.
Yes, it is. By quite a long way, but yeah, it's just like, oh, I can do that if I want. I don't want to, but I could.
Yeah. So there's some PC games that that are best suited to be like right in front of it, though. There was one game, that Forced game that we played a while ago. I tried to put that on the TV, and my goodness, the UI does not scale, and it was so incredibly hard to play that game on TV.
I was going to suggest the game that we're recently playing and not being able to figure out how to progress because you couldn't see something.
Oh. Yeah, but that's just, I think that was just Ham not clicking on it, because I didn't have any problem getting through that game.
Yeah. Apparently I'm just stupid, so.
I'll tell you one thing. What have you done with your trading cards that you got with that?
They still have them.
Yeah? Put them up on the marketplace. I just sold all 3 for $2 each.
What? Well, I guess I'll be doing that in just a moment. Jeez.
All right. Ham, tell us about what's going on with Twitch.
So Twitch, lovely Twitch, is getting a conference in San Francisco.
An entire conference just for Twitch.
Yeah. Because why not?
As stupid as that might sound, I think it's a very smart idea. First of all, Twitch should, I think Twitch will make a lot of money out of people who broadcast on Twitch showing up, and that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That means that Twitch will no longer be at the gaming conferences, which will make room for more gaming.
They'll always be there. No.
That's just, to me, that's ridiculous, having that much floor space taken up by a broadcaster.
Yep.
You're like, here's the CBC booth, here's the NBC booth.
By a broadcaster who won't really talk to you.
Yeah.
Try.
Right. Yeah.
So it's September 25th and 26th, 2 days in San Francisco at some convention center. And it's TwitchCon.
Coney or something?
Yeah. Moscone Convention Center.
That's where I'm going in a couple days. 2 days.
Oh, is it for GDC?
GDC.
Awesome. Which I think Valve is going to be giving a presentation there about, or they'll be helping out with a presentation about the next evolution of
Steambox thing.
OpenGL. Oh, Steambox stuff too, of course, but I'm more interested in OpenGL. GL Next, I think they're calling it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
So we'll see. They don't really have much in the way of details about TwitchCon aside from like obvious stuff like people who are well known on Twitch, which I don't know who's well known, are going to be there.
Hey, don't they have a conference for yeah, no, maybe it's not a conference, maybe it's an awards show for YouTube personalities. So why not Twitch?
Yeah. Right. Why not? Didn't Google try to buy Twitch before Amazon came in?
Somebody did. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, it was only if Minecraft can get a conference, if Quake can get a conference, why not Twitch?
Why not?
Yeah.
All right, so if any gamers out there are going to San Francisco next week, I'll see you. Well, actually, next week, not this week, technically. Although I'm leaving in 2 days, I'll be there for a week and a half.
For my short time there.
March 3rd or March 4th through 6th is the actual conference for GD Connect and a GDC. Game Connection and GDC.
All right, you're going to come back with excellent news about presentations and
probably no news at all.
Why not?
Probably nothing at all. Most these conferences are really for people to try and get jobs or try and get publishers, or to shake palms in the industry. That's really all it is. It's not.
Okay.
It's not for announcements of games or announcements of hardware and that kind of stuff. Even though Valve seems to be trying to turn it into that.
That's Connect, right? That's Connect.
Yeah, but that's also what GDC is. Really.
Okay.
GDC is a bunch of people looking for somebody to fund them or something like that. That's what the floor space is, anyways.
All right.
And then everybody else is walking around trying to get meetings to talk about other stuff.
Every year, when there are some presentations, some white papers about different rendering techniques or gameplay design ideas that come out, I look forward to reading those and trying to kind of decipher what might be cool.
There are a lot of conferences or talks regarding game development, that kind of stuff. But if you already know game development, then it's just them reaffirming what you should already know about game development.
True. But there are a few things. In past years, Crytek has released papers saying this is our new rendering technique, this is how we accomplished it, and this is the advantages of doing it. And I've enjoyed stuff like that. Although, for what it's worth, that stuff also happens throughout the entire year at different conferences, SIGGRAPH or SIGGRAPH, I don't know how you say it. I've never gone to it. It's basically digital art. In postmortems, stuff like that, people kind of give away this how we accomplished this cool looking thing. I always look forward to that, and I know there's a few that happen at GDC. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. Okay. Game Connect. If you are a developer and you're looking to make connections, GDC is pretty good. But if you have a prototype of a game and you want to get it published or meet somebody that's going to do something with it, Game Connection is the way you want to go.
Game Connection.
Save some money and do it that way.
That happens before GDC proper,
no,
right?
Now it is happening at the same time again. Originally they were together, then they had a difference of opinion, and now they're back together again.
Okay.
I don't know. Not really together, but sort of together. I don't know how it's working, really. And I guess this year we're going to see how daycare works out.
Oh, yes.
So bring your kids.
Fantastic.
All right. What else do we have? That's it. That's the end of the topics.
We could talk a little bit about that game that there was a first-person, well, an FPS, which I still don't quite know what that means, but
Dead Rock, Morningstar.
Dead Rock.
Allowed to talk? Yes. Yes, you could.
I don't know. I played it. It had a story, which was great. But I mean, it wasn't really the genre that I normally play, and at the same time, it wasn't. I still don't quite understand what FPS is in that one, unless it's like a first-person solver, or a first-person story, because really that's all it was it was a point-and-click adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Point-and-click adventure. I found out that it was actually, it's a remake of a game that appeared on, I think there's a website called Congregate. It has a lot of free little flash games. Yeah, so they got in touch with some other people, and it got remade and had some new puzzles put into it. But it's still the same game. It's still a
classic point-and-click adventure.
Yep, point-and-click. And I think this is probably the first game of that type I've ever played to completion. Interesting.
It looks like on Metacritic, most of the reviews that are good have to do with people who are reminiscing about the 90s.
Yeah. And I can imagine that if this wasn't your type of genre to begin with, this game won't do anything to convince you that you should really start to look into it. And I think if you already liked point-and-click adventures, probably can't go wrong, but I can't really say that for much authority since I haven't played many of those at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
Nope.
It was definitely not something that I would have gone into knowing that. But again, not my genre of game.
Yeah.
I also did try another one that just recently came out for the sake of checking it out. It's a game called Sim, S-Y-M. And they say it's a game for the socially anxious, but really it's about it looks like a game that was built by somebody who was very, very depressed. And they wanted to explore in a game fashion depression. And so I played through a few levels and I started to feel depressed, so I uninstalled it.
That's just what you need.
Yes.
I need a game that's going to bring me down.
Yeah.
We don't have a J tag, do we?
I'm feeling too good right now.
I was wondering if we have a J tag. I don't have a J tag. I don't even.
That's for Xbox, isn't it? It's Xbox hacks.
Xbox.
No.
What? Shit. All right. Whatever. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, we typically don't play Xbox.
No, we did talk about it a little bit, but we don't. Yeah.
Usually,
even if we did, but even if we did, we wouldn't support piracy and
admit
hacking,
it.
So get the fuck out.
We wouldn't admit it.
We talked about that sweet Master Chief helmet from Halo.
Hey.
Hey. He plays Call of Duty and uses JTAG. All right. JTAG and run homebrew. All right.
JTAG. Where's up my JTAG?
No, it's over.
The show's over?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
All right, so there goes a different kind of format.
Yeah. Consider yourself informed.
Consider yourself formatted. Was that a quick format or a...
That was the quick version. I do have an ending video for later, but in the meantime, I'm going to thank our host for taking the time out to chat with us. Breezy, thank you for joining us.
No worries.
All right, and Han, thank you very much for joining and also participating in the topics.
Yes, senor.
Creating them. You all spoke.
Yeah, what the fuck was that all about?
Stryder, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's always an adventure, my friends.
And Welshy, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
Good. Then I expect to see you again on our next show.
You will be.
Well, there is no show next week.
Yeah. Not next week, the week after. That's right.
And then the week after, Stryder will be here, so we will be like filling out bars probably at this time.
Awesome.
Just so you're aware.
We'll see what happens, whether or not there's a show. I don't know. All right. In that in the meantime, I'm going to say check us out over at MODSonair.com or MODSonline.com, and you can check out most of our past episodes, because recently we've been playing games, and we'll be back again sometime.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com, and please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
We talk so much about nostalgia. Here's a little bit of it.
Hey, Dr. Freeman. I've been hoping you'd show up. Got this airboat all gassed up and ready to go. It's going to be tough dodging civil protection out there in the open, but...
I grabs the gun. Points it at the Kaizen still
This was such a nice neighborhood, too.